Hey there, my name's Sherri. I'm a registered dietitian, and oftentimes I get asked the question, is an appetite suppressant something I should consider to help promote my weight loss? So in today's video, I'll answer that question. Stay tuned. I'm not surprised when I get asked this question. And the question is, will an appetite suppressant help me lose weight? But it's not so easy. So there are appetite suppressants that you can get over the counter with no prescription. And there are appetite suppressants you have to go to your doctor to get a prescription for. There's also appetite suppressants that are FDA approved, and there's ones that are not FDA approved. So the difference in the FDA approval is that if it's FDA approved, the safety has been scrutinized by the FDA, the efficacy, does this work? That's what efficacy is. How well does it work? And then lastly, the claims that people make on the advertising, the claims, lose this weight, whatever, have been evaluated and proven to be true if it is FDA approved. If it's not FDA approved, you don't know if it's safe. You don't know if it even works, and you don't know that the claims that they are putting on their advertisements and on the bottle are even valid or not. So my recommendation off the bat is don't even consider taking something that's not FDA approved. With that said, over the years, there have been 5 weight loss pills or appetite suppressants that have been approved by the FDA that over time, there were so many complaints and side effects on those appetite suppressants that the FDA pulled back their approval of those drugs, and they're no longer on the market. So with that said, you can see that just because it is FDA approved does not mean that it's safe. And it certainly doesn't mean that it's the magic pill. I mean, really, if taking these pills worked for everyone to lose weight, don't you think we would all be on them? There would be no overweight people, right? So proceed with caution. There is only one of these that is FDA approved that you can get without a prescription, and that is Orlistat. You may see it advertised as Alli, A-L-L-I. There are 7 total that you can get with a prescription, and I'm not going to go into the differences in each one of those, but what I am going to do in the description for this video is put all of their names and the names that they're marketed by that you may recognize, and then I'll put a little blurb about each one if you want to look further into it. But the big question about these things is, do they work? Well, yes and no. The research does show, though, that there are some pretty good weight loss results with them, like 12 months after most people have maintained 5% or less. Okay, that sounds pretty good, but the caveat is they always put in there that these drugs work with a combination of diet and exercise changes. So it's not like you can keep eating pizza and french fries and beer and not going to the gym and still lose 5% just by popping this pill. So that's not how these work. Even if you take the pill, then you still have to change your diet and exercise. If you're still watching and you think maybe this is the way I need to go, here's some more things to consider. These pills work by suppressing appetite, by kind of fooling the brain into thinking that your stomach is full. So it messes with the hormones that signal satiety. Well, that is only going to be effective if the reason that you eat is due to physical hunger. But it's not going to work for you if you are eating because you are stressed out, you are sad, maybe you are going through a divorce or a tumultuous time with a child, and you're stress eating. So these reasons why you eat have nothing to do with physical hunger. So taking a pill that will no longer make you feel hungry is going to be irrelevant. So I tell everyone, you've got to think about the reasons why you are eating. And I encourage everyone to take a couple of weeks, keep a food log. And you don't even have to write down and measure everything like half a cup of, white rice. But what you do is just write down breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and then pause and ask yourself, why am I eating this? Why am I going to eat this? Why do I want to eat this? See if you can tell when you are physically hungry. So an appetite suppressant would only work for people who are hungry 4, 5, 6 times a day. They feel like they can't eat enough. It's not going to work for people who don't even let themselves get hungry because they're stress eating, because they are eating due to other feelings, emotions. Now, maybe you find that you are eating a lot just due to sight or smell, because it's free, because somebody offered it to you, because everybody else is eating. So if that is you, I would encourage, try to change those things first. You don't need a pill to take away your appetite. Again, you are eating not because you are hungry. You are eating because it's there, because you are triggered to eat due to seeing, smelling, someone offering it. And so that's actually the easiest thing to change. You don't need a pill to do that. And then if you are often triggered due to emotions, then a pill's not going to help that either. A pill that suppresses your appetite. You're still going to turn to food as a coping mechanism for those feelings. So before I would do this, I would encourage you to take a couple of weeks and really look at, why am I eating so much? Why is it hard for me to cut back? And a lot of times I think you'll find out that it's not because you're hungry all the time. It's for other reasons that can be addressed in other ways besides taking a pill. Okay, if you're still on board and you still think this may be the way to go for you, I've got 2 final questions for you. Number 1 is, what are the side effects of these drugs? And like I said, there's 7 of them, so there's going to be varying side effects. Make sure you research this, not only the side effects, but the interactions with any drugs that you are currently on. And there are some times when these are not recommended at all. For example, for someone who's breastfeeding, and that may very well be a time when you want to lose weight, is when you're breastfeeding. But these are contraindicated in anyone who's pregnant or breastfeeding, actually. So there's other reasons too why you may not want to take these. Liver disease, I know, is one of them. So check into that, and I'm sure your doctor hopefully wouldn't prescribe you anything that you have a medical history that's contraindicated. So that is the first thing I want you to look at. The second thing is, think about what's going to happen when I stop taking these pills. Because these pills are not a lifestyle. These is not something that you're going to get renewed every year for the rest of your life. A lot of them are very short term, even for 3 months or 4 months, because of the side effects. You can't get a doctor to give them to you for longer than that. So what's going to happen at the end of that? You are at risk to go back eating the same way you were before and gaining back all the weight. So take that into consideration before you would start a prescription for any of these pills. Lastly, I'm going to answer the question, do I ever recommend appetite suppressants for any of my clients? And I'm going to say I've been doing this for 9 years now. I don't think there would ever be a time, there has not yet been a time where I have told someone this would be a good route for them. And you know, I'm a registered dietitian. We're not about popping pills for weight loss. We're about research. We're about lifestyle change. We are about exercising, modification. I would recommend first that you change your lifestyle. You've got to become a person that doesn't drink soda. You've got to become a person who is active and exercises. You've got to become a person who doesn't use the salt shaker and doesn't really eat fried foods, but on rare occasions. That's a lifestyle change. If you want to look into a diet, I recommend the Mediterranean diet is the only one that I would go to and say, start looking at this and trying to follow this as best as you can. And I'm also going to drop another link here to a video that talks about 3 tips, 3 things you need to do before you pick any weight loss plan. But if it was my recommendation, I would go with the Mediterranean diet. If you have any further questions about appetite suppressants or what diet to follow, please put it in the comments. I read all my comments. I'll be happy to answer your question. And until the next video, take care, be safe, and be healthy.